Hello and thanks for joining me for this week's track guide around Dragon Trail Seaside. This is for Daily Race C this week and it's in the Group 3 cars. Obviously a really popular combo that comes up, but nice to see it as Race C. So it's 12 laps, you need to use medium and soft tyres, so I've been starting on the mediums, doing 5 full laps and then coming in at the end of lap 5 to switch tyres. Some of the faster guys coming in a little bit earlier than that, but I just can't quite make the softs last, so it's a bit of an idea of the strategy for the race. But this is the lap guide for qualifying, so I'm going to go through the track guide and then also break down a couple of key sections, so the S's in sector 2 and also the death chicane. So we're breaking that down in a little bit more detail, helping you get over those bits if those are the parts you're struggling with. Those are the most tricky parts of the track. So let's get into the track guide. Got some really great races from tonight as well, which will be coming out in some future videos this week, so keep an eye peeled for those. But for now, let's see how to get the fast qualifying lap. So here we are coming down the front straight. Brake balance is on 0 for the whole lap, by the way, just kept it on even. So first brake marker we're looking out for is the curb here just before the 100, so braking on the curb, down to second, get your left tyres onto this curb here, short shift to third, and then a small lift as your right tyres catch the inside of that right curb. So you just want to catch the front right tyre on that little raised bit of the right hand curb, and that will rotate the car beautifully. We're going to go flat out over this next curb, but make sure your right tyres are clear of the edge, otherwise it will kick the car up horribly. And then we're braking on the shadow of the crane, down to second gear, and you can probably use first here just to rotate the car a little bit more. I don't quite catch as much of that curb as I would have liked to there, so just a flick of first to rotate the car a bit quicker, and then again short shift into second. Here we're looking out for the end of the orange barrier on your right, just as there's a black mark on the floor. Again, shift down to fourth, but then short shift to fifth and get on the power. And you can use the edge of these curbs to rotate the car again, so I actually go a little bit deep there, but using the curbs here just helps me get around that first part of the S's, and we will be breaking that section down in a bit more detail in a moment. Here we're braking about halfway between the 150 and the 100 board, down to second gear, and then trail braking. Make sure you hit that apex there on the right hand side and start feeding the power in. Once you've got the car steady, then you can go obviously to full throttle. Now here, the trickiest part of the track, going to come across on this black and white curb. Make sure you get the car right the way over on the right hand side here, and then start turning in smoothly. Now I do a tiny little lift here on this lap, unfortunately, but it is quite easy to do that flat once you get it nailed, so we'll go back and break that down in a moment. And then lastly here, just before the 100 board on the brakes, down into third initially, then second gear to rotate the car. Once the car gets over onto this curb here, you need to be at least half throttle, short shift into third, and that will give you a good launch up out of that corner. You can cut that corner there as well. It doesn't save you a huge amount of time, but that will gain you just a little bit, and that was good enough for a 35.3. So let's break down a couple of the more tricky sections here. First of all, the S's. So end of the orange barrier on your right, just a tiny dab of brake down to fourth, short shift to fifth, and then you're on the power as soon as you're on that curb there. Again, using the inside of the curb here just to help rotate the car. You see the way the inside of the front tyre just catches it there and flips it over, and you can do the same on this curb as well if you need to. So really helpful. You'll need to do that in the race when you're on the mediums as well, or when the tyres are more worn. Using that little bit of curb to rotate the car is really important. So this is how that looks at full speed. So dab a brake on the end of the orange barrier, short shift to fifth, and then full throttle and using the curb to rotate the car. Now next we're going to go through the death chicane section. So a couple of really key pointers of how to get through here. You want to be not using too much of this right curb really, getting all the way over to the right hand side next to the barrier, and you start turning in. You can see that I'm already turning in already. Get really close to that left side barrier, and then you'll just skim over that second black and white curb, and that's easily flat through there. So we're going to watch that again now, again in full speed. So just using a little bit of this first curb on the right, get all the way over close to the barrier, and then turning in smoothly in one motion, and then flick across, skip over the barrier. Nice and easy. So hopefully that helps you with getting a fast quali lap. Do look out for some videos with some great races later in the week as well, and drop a like if this has helped you. And we look forward to seeing you for some more races during the week. Thanks very much.